Guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So we're going to be reviewing the most reviewed foundation. That is what the claim is, and the one that I'm talking about is the Il Makiage Woke Up Like This Flawless Base Foundation. Now, this foundation has gone fairly viral recently. I've been getting so many requests from you guys to review this and let you know what I think of it and how it goes on my oily skin, because it is all over social media. It is all over Instagram, it is all over Facebook, and apparently it is the most reviewed foundation ever. So that suggests that a lot of people are really enjoying this formula. I am super excited. Everything that I've read about this, like, it does sound really amazing. So what we're going to be doing today is what we usually do with these foundation reviews. So I'm going to show you it on my skin. We're going to apply it nice up and close so that you can see just how it looks, and then we're going to be wearing it all day, doing check-ins, and I'm going to let you know whether or not I do actually think that this one is worth all of the hype. So if you are interested in watching a review on the Il Makiage super popular foundation, then please keep on watching. Okay, let's have a little look at some of the claims that they're making with this one, and there are quite a few claims. So firstly, it does come in 50 different shades, and it is really cool on the website. There's actually like a foundation quiz that you complete online, and then it selects the perfect shade. I did go through that and it was pretty accurate, which is really good to see. So this promises a lightweight texture, buildable medium to full coverage. It's a natural matte finish. It apparently has optically corrective powders in it to help smooth the skin and help the skin look really perfect. It's enriched with vitamin E and hyaluronic acid for hydration and anti-aging benefits. It's 100% cruelty-free, minimizes the appearance of shadows and pores, enhances complexion to create a flawless natural matte finish. It also does say that it's a cutting-edge formula that offers a unique combination of medium to high coverage that is still super comfortable and weightless on the skin. So I have to say, everything that I have read sounds absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be really interesting to see just how this goes on my oily skin. Now, when you do purchase the foundation from the Il Makiage website, this is what the little box looks like. It's like this little fold-up box here. And today I'm going to be wearing number 120. That is the shade that I match with. And then the actual bottle is really beautiful. It's a glass frosted bottle. This is what it looks like. It's really heavy. It feels super luxe. Just says Woke Up Like This foundation on the back. And then the little lid like clicks off. And then we have a pump applicator at the top there. It's a really nice packaging, like very weighty. She's quite heavy. Now here in Australia, this one retails for 68 Australian dollars. I will pop the US price on the screen. Obviously, it's going to differ, you know, wherever that you are and wherever you are purchasing this from. But yeah, it's 68 here, so it's fairly expensive. I feel like it's even more expensive than my Holy Grail Dior one. So it is quite a pricey foundation. But at the same time, you know, if it is as amazing as it sounds, I'm not going to be mad about it. Now, to get a really good comparison of this one, I'm going to prime only one side of my face so that we can compare the two side by side. I mean, I know Il Makiage has been around for a really long time. I know that it's super popular in the States, but I feel like this foundation just came out of nowhere and everybody was talking about it. And if I didn't say already, 30 ml of product in this one. So the texture kind of reminds me of, say for example, MAC Studio Fix Fluid. It's slightly runny, but you can definitely see that it looks to be a very high coverage product. Now you can apply this with either a sponge or a foundation brush. I'm going to use both today so that we've got a good comparison. And you guys, our Luxe foundation brush is finally back in stock. I've had, like, this is by far our most, like, our bestest of all best selling brushes. You guys have just been going crazy over this. We can finally buy it again. Yay, it was such a process getting it back in stock, honestly. But I'm going to try it with our Pro Perfecting Sponge first, and then we'll try the brush. So picking it up, I'm going to start blending it onto my skin. Oh, not bad coverage. Now, like the description said, this one has a natural matte finish. So it will, like, it should look matte on the skin, but then it should also still look like skin. So sort of like almost kind of like a satin, like a healthy matte is kind of what I would expect when I read that in a description. I do feel like it's applying really well and it definitely looks very smooth on the skin. The coverage of this one is also really beautiful. Oh my God, look how beautiful it looks on my skin there. Love that. Now, I'm not sure if you saw, but I did have like a little red acne spot just here on my cheek. And it's done a great job of covering that. Like, I don't feel the need, like this is probably only medium coverage because I'm only really applying a light layer, but I don't feel the need to, you know, build it up because the coverage is beautiful. So blending it across my forehead here. Application with a sponge. Absolutely adore it. Like, it just looks so smooth. It looks beautiful on the skin. Just taking another pump of the product and I'm picking it up on my brush and I'm going to start stippling it in on this side. Oh, it looks beautiful with a brush as well. It's just smoothing out so perfectly. I would say it's not the fastest formula to apply. Like, you do sort of need to work it into the skin a little bit, but it's also you know, I wouldn't say that it's difficult to apply, if that makes sense. I've tried a lot of serum foundations lately and I feel like they take 2 seconds to blend out. Like, I've been kind of used to that. But I do think you get a very similar amount of coverage with a brush to a sponge. It looks just as seamless, just as perfect, just as flawless on the skin. So yeah, I think you're going to be, like, this one's flexible. So if you love a brush, you'll be able to use a brush. And if you love a sponge, you'll be able to use a sponge. All right, here it is all blended in. And I have to say, I am very happy with how it is looking. I have noticed that the side that I applied first, it does, like, it's dried down to that natural matte finish. But when you initially apply it, it looks a little bit more dewy on the skin. It kind of just dries down, but happy to report that as it has dried down, it has not changed in color. So it doesn't look like it's, you know, deepened as it's dried down. I honestly think that it just looks beautiful. The coverage is amazing. I do feel like it might be a little bit, yeah, it's definitely smoother on the side where I have applied that primer. You can see a little bit more texture on my cheek here, but at the same time, it still looks really beautiful. Like, it looks like, you know, my pores look, but still really, really perfected. So far it's looking amazing. And also the shade 120 is a perfect match for me. If you are after a comparison, I'm an NC30 in MAC. I'm a medium 3 Stromboli in NARS. I'm a medium 3 Tawny in Estee Lauder Double Wear. Just a couple of comparisons if you're wanting to know what shade you match to. Absolutely cannot complain at all with how this one is looking on my skin. It feels really, really nice and lightweight. Oh yeah, it's definitely dried down to more of like a velvety matte kind of a finish. But yeah, it's got all of this incredible coverage and it's covered darkness and redness, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I don't feel like I'm wearing a full coverage foundation. I feel like I'm wearing, you know, just like a standard light to medium coverage foundation. And it's definitely made my skin look really nice and flawless and poreless and just smooth. If I wanted to compare it to a foundation, I'm going to say the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless or the Airbrush Flawless Finish one. I feel like it's very, very similar to that one. But if you are interested after we've done this video, I can do some side-by-side comparison wear tests and then we can really nut it out that way. But yeah, so far, I am super, super impressed. So what I'll do now is I'll jump off camera. I'm going to powder it down. I'll pop a little bit of concealer and I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer just underneath my eyes. I'll be powdering it down with our Nikkia Cosmetics Velvet Finishing Powder, of course. And then I'll come back and we'll have a look how my skin is going there. And then it'll be time to really test it. All right, so I've got the rest of my makeup on and I'm still really happy with how my skin is looking. Powdered down absolutely beautifully. I popped a little bit of concealer, like I said, just underneath my eyes. I didn't need any extra coverage anywhere else. And with powder and now bronzer, blush, a little tiny bit of highlight, I just feel like my skin looks seriously perfect. Like, it looks so smooth and flawless and seamless. The coverage is just phenomenal. And the coverage is there, but at the same time, I don't feel like it looks fake on my skin. It doesn't look thick, it doesn't look heavy, and it doesn't feel heavy. It's definitely a very, very lightweight feeling formula. I gotta tell you guys, like, so far, I am really, really impressed with how this is looking and how it is wearing and also how it applied. Very, very perfecting. I feel like my pores are really minimized. Like I said, coverage is just great. It does feel like a really nice flexible formula, so we don't have any settling into any fine lines or anything really. There's no cakiness. Like, it's just beautiful. Like I truly don't really even have even one complaint. I do absolutely still think that it looks smoother on the side where I applied a primer in comparison to the side that I didn't. That's probably the only real difference between the two sides. It applied just as well with a sponge as it did a brush. Very nice. So what we're going to do now is start our wear test. So I will see you guys in about 6 hours for our first check-in, and then obviously we'll keep going, and I'll see you later on tonight. All right, guys, so we are back with our first check-in for this foundation. I've officially been wearing it for almost 7 hours, and I have to say I am still quite impressed with how my skin is looking. The only thing I will say is I have had my glasses on. I've been working on my computer, and the foundation, like underneath where my glasses were sitting, where they were touching the skin, my foundation has definitely come off. I mean, being transfer proof is not necessarily one of the claims of this particular formula, so I'm not overly surprised, but it's definitely something to note if you are after like a really, really budge proof, like kind of a formula. But to be fair, I was probably wearing them for about, well, the last 5 hours, so you can't complain. Overall, my skin is still looking really smooth. I do still feel like my pores look nice and minimized. It may have potentially oxidized the tiniest little bit, whether or not it's because it's later on in the day and we don't have any natural light and we've just got studio light, or, you know, I feel like it does look slightly darker on my skin than it did originally. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Like, do you think it's looking a little bit deeper? But other than that, like, it still looks super, super smooth, super, super flawless. My oils are starting to come through, so we are getting like a little bit of shine through the T-zone and a little bit of shine on the skin. But I do feel like at the same time, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm gonna have to show you. So one of my close friends got a little baby puppy, and she had to work today, so I offered to babysit this little darling because she had a little sore leg this morning, and she's here on my lap. She's not happy to be in her little bed by herself. She's here in my lap. Look how cute she is. This is Luna, and she's a miniature dash hound. I'm not sure if they're called toys or if they're called miniatures, but she's such a little snuggler. So she's just like sitting on my lap. She won't let me put her, like if I put her in her bed, she will immediately start crying. Oh, you're such a sweet little girl. Here, you want to go to sleep? Here, go to sleep, go to sleep. Okay, what was I saying? I can't even remember. Oh, my natural oils have started to come through, but I just feel like it's given the skin like this really pretty satin finish. It doesn't look greasy. It doesn't look like sweaty. It definitely, like, we don't have any caking or separation. Like, I do still feel like the formula is really, really flexible. Overall, I am quite happy with how this is going. So here she is close up. As you can see, you know, the coverage is still really, really nice. There's just like a little bit of a patch sort of where my glasses were sitting, but it's certainly nothing, you know, horrendous. Like, I can totally deal with it, and being that I did wear those glasses for such a long time, it's also not that surprising. Yeah, I could easily just touch up those spots with a little bit of foundation or a little bit of concealer or something and it would be fine, but we're still really nice and smooth on my chin. We're still really smooth on this side. I have been leaning on my face a little bit, so I do feel like I've got a tiny little bit just missing just here. It's definitely not that transfer proof, but yeah, no settling, no caking. It's not patchy or blotchy. Like, I do feel like it's looking really, really nice. And based on the fact that I have been wearing this for 6 hours, it has done quite a reasonable job at minimizing my oil, minimizing my shine. I am quite happy with how it is looking. So non-primed side is here, and then primed side is here. I do feel like, yeah, I still feel like the primed side is a little bit smoother, and I also do feel like it may be a little bit less shiny as well. But overall, you guys, it is looking pretty good for 6 hours. So I'm going to, I will continue wearing this, and I will see you guys in another 6 hours, and fingers crossed, things are still holding together then. You guys, the funniest thing just happened. So obviously you can tell, I mean, we're back for our check-in and I've no longer got eyelashes on. So I was out at the vegetable garden in the backyard. It's been a super still sunny day. no wind at all, right? I'm out there minding my own business. I've got the poms with me, you know, just checking the vegetables, picking stuff and whatnot. Out of nowhere, this massive wind comes, like, and it was so crazy. It was like this one gust of wind. It's like ripped apart like our outdoor area. The cushions are everywhere. But I kid you not, I was standing out there and one of my eyelashes like half flew off my face. It was the funniest thing ever. This eye's been watering this afternoon. I've been working on the computer for way too long. And I think like the wateriness kind of got in under the glue and it just went boom. Anyway, I thought that it was really funny. So let's have a look at this foundation and how it is going. Obviously, you can tell that I've got a lot more shine happening than I did have earlier on in our earlier check-in today. But I do have to say that even though, like in comparison to a lot of other foundations that I have tested, it is still not as shiny, it is still not as oily. I do also think that despite the fact that it has gotten so shiny and so oily, we still don't have any caking or any separation. Like it's still looking quite smooth on the skin, which I really, really like to see. I love to see a formula that can, you know, sort of hold up to my oils, that they can withstand them and not actually break down. I've still got those patches of foundation missing on the sides of my nose where I was wearing my glasses, and I actually am missing, hang on, I'll zoom you in. I actually am also missing some foundation on the end of my nose. Like I said, it's really not transfer proof at all, and I've still got like a little bit missing underneath here where I was just leaning on my chin. So yeah, I will say for this one, it does stay looking really, really nice. Like I do still feel like it does look quite flawless. I'm definitely in need of a powder at this point, like we are ready to powder down, but it absolutely will transfer off if you've got oily skin. It didn't transfer off earlier on in the day, but once my oil started to come through, it definitely transfers. The coverage is still looking quite nice, which I'm really happy about. We still don't have any settling into any fine lines, which is great. I do think overall it is not looking too bad. At the 12-hour mark, it's definitely not my favorite formula. I've got other foundations, for example, like the Dior one that I showed you guys earlier, the Backstage Face and Body, that looks nicer on my skin at the 12-hour mark. But I will say that the Il Makiage one, at, I reckon between like 6 to 8 hours, it just still looked so perfect on my skin. Now, a lot of people only wear foundation for that amount of time, so it's probably not gonna, you know, affect many of you. I definitely will be, you know, reaching for this, and I definitely will be reusing it because it just looks so beautiful on the skin initially, but this is not going to be a formula for long wear for me. So I'm going to say overall I might give it about 3.5 stars out of 5. So it's not the worst foundation that I've ever tried, but it's also not my absolute favorite. I still do think that it is very, very close to the Charlotte Tilbury one. The Charlotte Tilbury one might be a little bit more transfer proof, but the same perfecting look on the skin, the same, you know, amazing, like gorgeous, like no pores, like photoshopped look. This will absolutely make your skin look perfect. And obviously I can only comment based as an oily skin type. You may have normal skin, combo skin, dry skin, and this may not transfer off you at all. Absolutely loved the coverage, corrected all the redness, all the darkness, and it did that, and it gave me such great coverage but without feeling heavy on the skin, which I really, really loved. Yeah, overall those are my thoughts. I might just quickly, while we are here, I have a little go at actually touching it up because I am curious. Oh, see, it touches up really nicely. Just looks fresh again. See, if you were going to be touching up as well, you'd be totally fine. With these foundation reviews, I try not to touch it at all. Like I try to really put it through its paces so that you guys know what it's going to look like worst case scenario. So say, for example, you know, you're not able to touch up. I want you to know exactly how it is going to perform. So we've still got like a little bit of color peeking through on my nose, but I will say, you know, touching it up, so I'm just using our Velvet Finishing Powder to touch this up. The foundation's not actually transferring off as I am doing this. Oh my God, you guys, it touched up beautifully. Oh, it looks brand new again. Love that. I mean, I could easily, like, you know, touch up those spots on my nose with some concealer, powder that down, and I'd probably be good to go for like another 3-4 hours. Overall, it is really, really nice. The only thing is, yeah, just the transfer. you're not going to get that longevity. So there you go, guys. Those are my honest thoughts on the Il Makiage Woke Up Like This Flawless Base Foundation. It is a really nice product. I'd love to know, have you tried it? What do you think? And by the way, you know how I said earlier, thousands of reviews? I double checked on their website. It's got like 350,000 reviews. That's crazy. Like I said, a lot of people love this. A lot of people love this. But I'd love to know if you've tried it. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below, how it wore on your skin. I'd love to know the good, the bad, the ugly, as always. And I hope that you found this video helpful. If you've got any other questions about the formula or about any other foundation or any requests, please pop them in the comment section down below. I'll be hanging out there and answering all your questions. And yeah, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.